The glory of God is what God does not permit anyone take sole proprietorship of. The glory of God is what God does not see the need for him to allow anybody take a whole of it. The glory of God is that which God only permits that he share with you when he see that you are worthy of it. As you begin to journey with God, you come to a point where God look upon you and he feel you are worthy now to share, become a partaker of his glory, and then he allow you to share in this glory. And when a man carry the glory of God, sustain the glory of God, it is an identity to attest that God is with him. It is not possible for you to have the glory of God and God is not there. It is possible to have the power of God and God is not there. It's even possible for you to have the wisdom and God is not there. But it's not possible for you to sustain glory and God is not there, because glory is only upon the standpoint of the presence of God. Is that okay? And the realms and part of the dimension of God referred to as Piskaizo is a realm that brings the overshadowing of the glory of God. Go with me to the book of Acts chapter 1 from 8. Acts chapter 1 from 8. Act of the Apostle chapter 1 from 8. I want to bring to your understanding that right from the book of Genesis chapter 1, when God created Adam and Eve, there was a glory that covered them. The glory was their identity. The glory of God was what distinguished them from others. The glory of God was their covering. That was their garment. The way we glory in our hair, glory in our clothes, the beauty of our clothes, the allotment of the makeup, the designers. In the beginning it was not so, my friends. In the beginning there was an overshadowing. In the beginning there was a garment that was not too recognized by men, but is what more than gold, is what men cannot buy in the market. It was a garment that covered, that glisters. It was a glory that is overshadowing. That is referred to as the identity of God. And that glory that covers them from the very beginning make them have no need for clothes, make them have no need for shoe, makes them have no need to do anything again, because the glory defines them. They are clothed in the glory, preserved in the glory, strengthened in the glory. Why? Because that is where the echelon of the strength of God is found. And in that same midst of the glory of God is where men partake of power. Moses did not know more of the power of God, he knew more of the glory of God. And Moses was very conscious about that, and he knew that even in the Old Testamental culture that glory was so important. And because glory was so important, he does not want to trade it for anything. So even in the days when the Lord sent his angel to walk with him, Moses said, I don't need your angel. I need you to go with me, because until your glory go with us, there cannot be a demarcation. Every religion has power, every babalawo has power, every kingdom survives by power. So power is a common denominator. Glory is distinguished. The believers as of that time were distinguished by the level of the intensity of the glory of God as radiate from them. Everyone sustained the capacity to have power, but not everyone sustained the capacity to have a glory that is not visible. Shekinah is with a manifested presence of God, but the presence of God is of no effect if it doesn't bring glory. Is that okay? Glory is our advantage. In the midst of the glory of God we find habitation. The glory is the ecosystem of heaven. When you go to heaven, you don't see power, it's not needed, you see glory. Glory is the echelon of God's expression. Glory is the excellency of the dimensions of God. Glory is the excellency of the divination of God as seen in time past. And God guarded this so jealously that God felt the need not to share his glory with no one. And anytime a man tried to come after the glory of God, God killed the person. The way the glory of God was designed, it was designed to elude those that are not fit for it. So when a man is not fit for the glory of God, when he tried to partake of it, the man died the death of martyrs. And sometimes they die the death of priests, and sometimes they die the death of the foolish ones. The glory of God is actually the identity of the New Testamental culture. Power is a code of operation. Power is an entity given unto us to combat. But in the days when you cannot access power, return back to glory. In glory is defense. Glory is like a fortress. It sustains the ability to be able to defend you and to also be able to attack by default. When a man sustains the glory of God, he doesn't need to know how it operates. It's enough answer to the Philistine. He said, touch this one no more. Why? Because this one that you see, there was a cloud that go by them, and there was somehow a pillar that is by them. What you call a cloud, what you call a pillar, was the glory of God in diverse form. And one of the things we have to pray at all times is to come to a point where the glory of God can be with us, because it's not possible for the glory of God to be there and God is not there. It's possible for his power to be there, his angels are there, his cherubims are there. God cannot send his glory without him being there. He can send everything, but his glory is himself. Your glory is yourself. Until you are there is no glory. So if you are going to have glory in a man, it's because the person is visible. And that is how the thing works. Episkaizo is the overshadowing glory of God. It's a dimension that we must contend for. I told you, there are many things that God taught me in regard to who he is, his operations. And I trust God that you pay attention to them. I trust God that you will be conscious enough to be able to harness them. These things are what a prayer point. They are what the travail. They are what fasting and prayer for. They are what channeling your strength and energy for. It doesn't matter how small you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter your disqualification. It doesn't matter what you do not know. Know God is enough an advantage. And know his glory is enough a satisfaction. The glory of God sustains in itself the ingredient required for a man to grow. Our survival is upon the ingredient of the conduit of the glory. In the glory we are fed. When God created Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, everything that sustained the ecosystem of Eden was the glory. Everything that makes it glow was the glory. The same way the regulator of heaven is the glory of God. And everyone feed upon the glory. That is how it operates. Acts chapter 1 verse 8. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witness unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. If I were the apostles, I will marvel more at this expression. A man came to you and told you, you will receive power after the Holy Ghost come, and afterward you will be my witness. And while they are looking at him, the Bible said a cloud came from heaven, and the cloud took him and took him up. You see, that kind of expression is a dimension they are not aware of. The Jesus they knew before was not the Jesus they are seeing now. Because right now, what it demonstrated to them was a dimension that they could not understand. All what they knew about him was that this man is a man that was powerful. In fact, he told them the need that they would perceive and partake of his power. But there was something he expressed. It was a dimension of God that he expressed.